Hello, this is going to be a video that's going over your Unit 3 Functions Study Guide. So I'm just going to work through, the first video is going to be on the first 2 pages, and the second video is going to be on the last 2 pages. So I'm just going to graph these points for 1 through 4. A is going to be 0, so we don't go back and forth at all, we just go up 2. So there's A. B is going to be to the left 2 and don't go up and down at all. C is going to be 4, 5, so we're going to go over 4 at 5, that's C. And then D is -2, 3, which is like up here. So that would be that first part there. Okay, so for number 5, it says determine whether or not it's a function, why or why not. So remember, a function just means that each input has a unique output or your x values don't repeat. So for the first one, we have 4, 8, 7, 0, 9, 8, 11, -3. This one is because the x's don't repeat. And then for the second one on the right with the mapping, you'll notice that this is going from here to here. So it's a no because my 9 repeats. It's going from 9 to 7 and then also 9 to 5. For this one, this is a yes, again, because your x's don't repeat. This one's a no. Remember, when you have a graph, you can use what's called the vertical line test. You take your pencil, remember all this, and you slide it around. I can like cut this thing and move it so you can see it. If it touches more than one point, which it does right there at one time, and there as well, it's not a function. So this is a no. I'll even leave this. Whoop. For the key on Classroom. Okay, so this one's a no. This one here, we're looking at all of our x's. So 2, 1, -8, -4. This is a yes because they don't repeat. The tables are actually the nicest to look at. We can just look there and look at that. There are 2 4s. It's a no. All right, so choose the correct statement. For a function, every input has its own unique output, or every output has its own unique input. This is just vocabulary. Every input has its own unique output, is the wording on that. All right, your domain, remember that these are your x's. So we're just gonna look. You can list all of your points, like this point is -5, 1. Honestly, you can just look at the graph though too. So this one's at -5. This is 0, 1, 5, and then 7. Oops. So that would be A. B, I believe, is the range. So for number 8, list the domain. Is it a function or not? So we're going to list all of these. Remember, we list these in order from least to greatest, and we do not repeat any numbers. So they already put the little fancy braces for us, so we can write 3, 4, 6, 9. Is it a function? Yes, because your x's don't repeat. Now we're looking for all of the ones that, let me see here, where all of the x's don't repeat. Here we go. Just like pulling up this thing to make sure. Okay, so for number 9, we're going to look for the range. This is our y values. I'll use pink. Our range, which remember means y. So we're looking at all of our ranges and figuring out if it's -3, 1, 4, 8. So we're going to look at all the y values on each one of these. I'll just go ahead and highlight them first and then look at them. There's probably going to be more than one answer because they said select each. Okay, so for this one, select each function, each range -3. So we're going to look. We have 4, 1, that's good, 8, -3, 1. All of those are good. And they have to have all of those y values. So if you don't have enough, it's not going to work. All right, for this one, we have 4, 1, 6. There's no 6. Yeah, that one's not going to work. There's no 6 in the y. For E, we have, let's see, -3, 4, 1, 8. That one works. For this, we have 4, 4, 8, -6. That doesn't work. This one we have 4, 1, 8, 8, 1. But we don't have the -3. So this one doesn't work. And then the last one, we have 1, 8, -3, -3, and 4. That's got them all. All right, so given the domain, find the range. Oh, it doesn't have it on here, but I just pulled this up just in case. And it was this problem. So if there's your equation. Now you can, it's probably in some weird spot on this paper. So they're telling you that these are your x's. So we're just going to plug them in for here. So we'll do these one at a time. So we'll do 2/5 times 0 minus 1. Right, we plugged it in for the x. And then you get that it's going to be -1. Then we're going to do 2/5 times 5 minus 1, which is 10. That's going to be just a regular one. We do 10 minus 1. And then the last one, you do 2/5 times 20 minus 1, which is 8 minus 1, which is 7. And then your answer, you're going to list all of them in order from least to greatest. And there's your answer for that one. Okay, so we're going to graph these linear equations. So for number 11, it was y equals -3x plus 1. So we're going to start at 1, go down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1. Okay. For number 12, it's y equals 1/4 x plus 3. So we're going to start at 3, and then we're going to go up 1 over 4, up 1 over 4, down 1 left 4. And then y equals -2 is going to be, remember, hoi vux, right? Hoi. Horizontal line, 0 slope, y equals. So we're going to it's just going to be a flat line right on the -2. Or for when they're just the numbers, you could also do your tables where your y values are -2. And then you plot those points. So 1, -2, 2, -2. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of graphing. This is on the same page. Okay, it's on the next page. So this one is y equals -1/3 x plus 2. So when you do this, you want to put the -1 in top. You're going to go down 1 to the right 3. It should look like this. And then this one would be y equals x plus 5. So I'm going to start at the 5, and remember that my m is 1. So we're going to go up 1 over 1. And then the last one was x equals 5. So that's the vux part, right? Vertical undefined slope x equals. All of your x's are 5. So it's going to look like this, where all of my x's are 5. Okay. Okay. So circle and label the y-intercept. Your slope is just the 3. It's not the x. And then the 22 is your y-intercept. I just realized that I didn't stop this video, so I'm not going to cut it either. I'll just run through the rest of them. Okay, so draw a line with a positive slope. So positive means going up, right? Negative is going down. 0 is kind of a flat line. Okay, so we're going to match each line with the equation. Of course, all my equations disappear. So this one's going to be y equals 2/3 x. So for this one, you're going to start at the origin. So we're looking at problems that start, this one starts at the origin, and we're going to go down 2 to the right 3, which matches IP. So that one's going to be D. We'll just do different colors then. So this one will be 1/2 x plus 5 is 21. So we're going to start at -5, which is here, and then we're going to go up 1 over 2, which is this line. And 22 would be y equals 2x minus 1. So we're going to start at -1, which is this one, and then we're going to go up 2 over 1. So that's C. And the last one was x equals 4. So that's a vertical line where all of my x's are 4. Like, 0. Come on, lady. 4, 0, 4, 1, 4, 2. So that would be B. Okay, so write an equation given the table. So this kind of problem is the one where we first select our y-intercept, which is right here. So that's going to be the first number we put, plus 1. And then we pick 2 ordered pairs. We'll pick these 2 just because they're next to each other. And we do the change of y over change of x. So how much the y is changing, in this case it's 3, over how much the x is changing, which is 1. So it's just going to be 3 over 1x, or you could just do, just 3 is fine. All right, given the graph, what's the slope, what's the y-intercept? My slope looks like I'm going up 1, 2 over 1. And your y-intercept is 3. We'll just highlight that just so you can see it. There you go. Okay, given this scenario of independent and dependent variables, Anna has hired some painters to paint her house. The more people that work, the less time it takes. So remember for number 26, it's going to be your dependent variable depends on the independent variable. So you have to think. The two things that are changing are people and time it takes to paint the house. So does the time it takes to paint depend on the number of people, or does the number of people depend on the time? It's going to be the first one because kind of the time is the after. The more people that work, the less time it takes. So your independent variable is going to be the number of painters, and the dependent variable is the time it takes to paint the house. All right, so we're going to write an equation. Maya has $200 in her account. Every week she withdraws, remember that means take out, $10. So that means the total amount in her account is equal to 200 minus $10 per week. All right, 28, he starts with $26. So we're trying to match up that equation, and he withdraws. We want to start with 250 and take out 26. So he starts with 250 and takes out 26 each week. That seems right. He starts out with 250 pieces of candy and ate 26, but there's no variable there. That's like a one-time subtraction problem. He has 26 and you're just adding on D. It's got to be this one. All right, which one doesn't match? So for this one, we're just trying to see which one doesn't match. So I would try, well, first you can maybe check the graph because that's kind of easy to check the points and then a graph. So let's check C. So 0, -2 would be this point, and 2, 0 would be this point. Okay, so one of those is not true. So let's figure out kind of, C and D definitely don't match, so it's got to be one of them. So let's double check that the A and B match. All right, y is 1/2 x minus 2, so 2 less than half a number x. So remember, less than is switches, so these definitely match. And then we can check the points. We can do -2 equals 1/2 times 0 minus 2. That checks, but we got to check both points. So does 0 equal 1/2 times 2 minus 2? And that would be a no, because that's going to be a -1. When you do 1/2, that'd be 1 minus 2. And then we can also just to make sure, we know it's not C, but just to make sure, this one here, it does check out. We start at -2, up 1/2. So your answer would be C, because it doesn't match. All right, and that is all for your video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I'm sorry that this isn't too